What's going on, guys? Hope you're having a great day out there. So I had mentioned this in a few different videos out here running the XMAXX of a modification that I learned from, I believe it was Rich Duperbash, when I was chatting with him about breaking the front bulkheads in the upper shock towers on the XMAXX all the time. And I kept almost every run would snap one of these things off, and it was driving me crazy. And I was talking with him, and he gave me the little upgrade and how to do it. So I was figuring, a bunch of guys were asking if I could put together a video at some point showing what it was and what was done. And I figured now was a good time, because right now I'm completely going over, rebuilding the XMAXX a bit. I had to change out the front upper bulkhead, which was a perfect time because I had to remove this thing anyway. So changing that thing out, at the same time I'm changing the lower bulkhead. I didn't break it, but it got kind of torn up from whenever the upper broke and the diff gear went flying around, and it scratched up the inside of it pretty badly, and had a bunch of pieces of plastic, and it was just a mess. And for, I think it was like $8 or $10 or $12, I just got a new lower bulkhead because I had to tear it all apart anyway. But that's the rest of her down there. Finally going to get the XMAXX back together again. By the way, and people were wondering on that video what the noise was, originally that made me send it off the vert wall and basically kill this thing at the time. It was the front diff gear. I had changed it out already. I've been kind of working on this thing for the last couple weeks as pieces came in, but it was the front differential gear that I busted a whole bunch of teeth off of it. And that's where the noise and the clicking and all that was coming from. I had a feeling it was because it was heavier under braking, but anyway, guys, not about that. Getting the XMAXX put back together today. I'm home for a few days for work, and figured I'd get this thing fixed up. Also, along with this installation, you guys already seen the video, but got the new prototype from M2C, these locked hinge pins, which really are really nice, and I think these are going to be a great upgrade for the XMAXX, guys. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and grab my little tripod for the camera here and show you what's going on. But basically, you will need this part number, and this is the only... Sorry for the weird little cutoff there, but my phone locked, and I couldn't show you the part. But this is what you're going to need to get. It's the XMAXX 7726X. It's the steel bulkhead tie bar, and this other upper one is the only one you really need out of the kit, but I don't see just this one available, so this is a kit you got to get. It's $12. But essentially what's going to happen here is we're going to mount two of these up on the front upper bulkhead. Because when you only have one, all that stress is basically getting put on just the front piece. And it's not actually locking all of this together. So what this does is the second one goes on the back side here, and I'll get it put on here in a second and show you guys what it looks like. But basically it ties this whole bulkhead together so that all that stress that happens is kind of more evenly distributed towards the front and the back of it. And so far, since I've done this, I haven't busted these upper bulkheads at all. I did break the front one from that landing over top of the fence, and she kind of took a heavy nose hit and busted other pieces, but I didn't bust the upper bulkhead in that spot, which was great. So this is obviously working, and it's been helping a lot. But I'm going to go ahead and get it kind of mocked up here, and I'll show you guys what it is. And the screws you will need also are the M4s by like 39 to 40 millimeters length to go the whole way through the bulkhead. And you will also need to drill a hole the whole way through your bulkhead. You will see in the stock form there's not holes right there. Just drill them the rest of the way through, and that way the screws can go the whole way through. Because what you're going to do, sorry if I'm yakking a lot, but I'm trying to explain this the best I can. But essentially, there's going to be a screw all the way through, a nut on this side, and then your other plate, and then another screw. So I'll go ahead and get this thing put together, and I'll show you guys what it looks like. All right, so as you guys can see, I got the front plate on here. I threw the hinge pins in here just to keep everything lined up nicely, and then I passed the screws the whole way through and put one set of nuts right there, and now that is locked on. And now we're going to go ahead and slide on the second plate onto the back side, and put the second set of nuts on it, and I'll bring you guys back when that's on. All right, well, when you're all done, it should look like this. We got the front tie bar mounted to the front here with the, you could probably, like I said, you could probably use about 38. I'm not sure what all lengths we come in. These ones were about 40. They're a tiny bit long, but they don't get in the way of anything, so I wasn't that concerned about it. I'm gonna try and bring this over here in the light a little bit better so you guys can see better. So obviously we got our front tie bar mount, the screws, a set of nuts on the other side of the bulkhead, and then the second tie bar mount here, and then 2 nylon locking nuts on this side also. And then this becomes all one big piece and kind of distributes that weight and you know, the pressures and those hits a little bit better. And like I said, so far since I've had this, I have not been busting the shock towers and these upper mounts. So it's definitely been a great cheap, easy upgrade to do. Like I said, 12 bucks for the tie bar mounts and a couple screws, and you are good to go. But I'm going to finish getting the XMAXX all together here, and I'll probably bring you guys back at the end. My main video was just wanting to show you guys this modification and how to do it and what was needed. But again, you will need the 7726X tie bar mount, a couple of 38 to 40 millimeter M4 screws, and 4 nylon locking nuts. And that's about it. And she's going to get all back together again. We're going to take the XMAXX back out for rip here again soon. Like I said, I'm home for a couple days right now and been just getting a few things worked on. But when I get back from this trip, I'm actually going to have some time off. So I'll be able to go out and have some fun. I've already been talking with Trevor about going out and hopefully go hitting the new skate parks. And guys, the sledge, that thing has been a blast. Hopefully going to take out, I want to take out and do a little comparison between the Italian, the Sledge, and the Creighton XL Red Bull. Go out and have a little fun with all three of these cars somewhere. I think it could be a good time. The Sledge has been a blast, been having a ton of fun with that car. Been super impressed with it. And anyway, that's about it, guys. I'll bring you guys back when the XMAXX is finally in one piece again. But figured I'd show you guys a little modification here because I know a few of you have been asking. So there you go. If you got any other questions, drop a comment down below. You guys know I always try to answer everything back. But I'm going to go ahead and get this Humpty Dumpty back together again. I'll bring you guys back at the end. Oh, one other thing I wanted to mention. If you do this modification, depending on what A-arms, I've heard that with the stock upper A-arms, you don't have to worry about it because there's enough give that they will go over top. But I've noticed with the RPMs, upper A-arms, you do have to shave off a tiny bit. Like maybe, I don't know, it's hard to even say, maybe a millimeter or two, just to give the extra width at the top to go over both new plates. So probably like maybe 2 millimeters. Somewhere right around there, kind of taking a millimeter off of each side on the inside. Just use a razor blade or whatever, a Dremel, whatever you got. But you do have to widen the upper A-arms just a hair in order to squeeze over top of the extra width of the 2 hinge pins on the top. So I just wanted to add that. As you guys can see, I got the front all together now. I'm going to go and throw the screws on this thing and get the front end of the XMAXX up, and then I can marry it up to the rear part. I also dropped a new servo in there while I had this thing apart, so because the steering was acting weird. But anyway, I just wanted to add that piece, guys, so you knew in case you ran into it. All right, everybody. Well, the XMAXX is all back together again. Hopefully, don't have any problems with this thing anytime soon, guys. I have done, just in case anybody's wondering, I mean, there is just an immense amount of upgrades done to this truck. Obviously, running the Hobby Wing Max 5 combo in here. The Viviton, or however heck you pronounce it, gears, got those in there with and eliminated the cush drive setup. Well, with the direct drive, it's also nice because it's got a little support. I'll show if I can get some light here. It's got a support that connects down there to the chassis to help support that shaft for the what used to be the cush drive. Got the hot racing cover for the rear case, got all the hot racing aluminum steering knuckles, servo saver, all of it. Sorry guys, I'm kind of at a loss for words at the moment. But got a lot of stuff done to this thing. Numerous M2C upgrades on this thing. Got the M2C Racing center brace. Also do have in there, and I know a lot of you guys have been asking, the M2C Racing center drive shaft system that allows for the flex. They are getting very close to releasing it. It's just some tooling and some different things are taking it a little bit, I guess. But it will be out very soon. But guys, the XMAXX has been fun. I've just been running into weird, different, odd problems, and been busting like steering. The servo saver setup has been an ongoing issue, and now all that has been replaced and has the aluminum parts on here. I did leave the steering links plastic, so there is some sort of weak spot somewhere for something easy and cheap to break. And we'll see what happens. I also did change out the servo, so it's got a brand new servo in there. And she should be ready to roll. And yes, I'm running the Pro Lines on here again. Not my favorite tire, but one thing I will give them is they don't blow off the rims, and the rims don't shatter like the Duratrash tires. And those things are just garbage, guys. I honestly rarely ever say that something is just totally trash and you should not buy it. But those Duratrax tires, until they fix the rims on those things are terrible. The rims are so paper thin, and whatever plastic they're using, they just break really, really easy. And just not holding up too great. Also do have the M2C Racing wide kit on this thing. Really been loving the extra wide stance on this thing, and been working out great. But anyway, we got her all fixed up again. She's ready to roll. But as I'll show you guys here, our weather here in western Pennsylvania cannot seem to make up its mind. Yeah, that's snow falling. 2 days ago, it was 70-some degrees, and now it's snowing. So I will not be out there bashing today. I've had enough of freezing and being in the cold out there, but it was fun during the winter time. But anyway, guys, that's going to do it. Main point of this video is to show you guys a little modification for the front bulkhead on the XMAXX here, and how to tie that all together. And as you guys can see, she's all bolted up, and a little stronger, a little better, and we'll see how she goes. And I'm probably going to start driving this thing a little differently, guys. The skate park down there, obviously, it does not like this skate park. Most of the jumps are flat landing onto the concrete out there, and certain cars fare better than that, and the XMAXX just doesn't seem to like it too much. So we're going to start running this thing some different places and seeing how we can enjoy this thing a little more, and where is the best place for this thing. It's a fun truck, tons of fun, but that skate park, I don't think is it. But anyway, video's gotten long enough. I hope you guys enjoyed it. And, you know, nice, easy, cheap, free upgrade to do to the XMAXX to keep these front bulkheads from breaking up there, so in the shock tower. So give it a try if you like, but that's going to do, guys. So until next time, y'all be safe. Be careful out there. Peace out, everybody.